Alrighty, folks, we should be live now. Let me double check. We are. Awesome. What's up, chat? How you guys doing here? Hopefully y'all are doing good. I'm actually in Tallahassee right now. I'm just trying to update a couple things here on the stream side of things. I need to... It's gonna go dark for a second, so I need to turn off. Okay, should be back now. Just trying to figure out where I'm going here, and I need to grab a phone charger from somewhere. Give us just a minute here, guys, and we'll get going. Need a way to charge my phone. Doesn't necessarily matter how I charge it. So I'll use the magnet charger for now. Not like I have anywhere to mount my case thing anyway, or my pop socket. But welcome in, everyone. Great to see you all. Was gonna make this a members only, but again, I felt bad doing that. Just because I had promised you guys a stream today, which I didn't. I mean, I'm still delivering on it, but it's just not gonna be a damage survey. Michelle, last I heard that the last stats that I was told was, unfortunately, 9 people were killed by the storm, and there are millions without power. That is what I heard. Hold on, guys, I need to make a quick phone call here. Okay, guys, sorry about that. We are getting going now. seconds to get this address queued up. Then once we get onto the highway, I can actually pull up chat and be able to focus better. So I just gotta make my way to I-10 here, folks. Ooh. I want something. Might have been one of the antennas shifting. So yeah, we're in Tallahassee right now. DSB, thank you for being a member for a month. But those of you that tuned into the stream yesterday, what'd you think of the hurricane? It was wild, great coverage, crazy, fun. Getting a mix of scary and fun. That's how I'd describe it. We didn't actually get into any Category 4 level winds, but I guess that's to be expected, being that far inland. We just felt a little bit safer playing it that way. So. You guys were nuts. Yeah, apparently there were some people on Twitter who weren't too happy with the way we were behaving, but I don't know. I do not know what to really think about that. Yeah, as far as I know, there were no arrests. Seemed like Perry PD was going around kind of patrolling the area pretty early on, but then when it started to get really intense, like I think they bailed. So got a 2-hour and 10-minute drive to where I'm headed for the evening. Loud 4Runner. Interesting. Don't see too many of those. What were the wind speeds? There was a measured gust. The highest measured gust in Perry was 100. A couple of those gusts that hit Ben and I after we were the only two left standing out there because Connor and Freddie decided to bail and get in the car a little bit earlier than we did. Honestly, they were probably being a little bit smarter than we were, but you know, we were fine. I'd say we probably had a gust of maybe 120. 120, 125. Because, I mean, I've leaned into 100-mile-an-hour winds before. That was stronger than 100 miles an hour. A couple of those gusts that hit us. It wasn't consistently that strong, so I think we got a gust up into the 110s, 120s. A gust or two, and then after we got in the car, there was a few more that came through that really rocked the car pretty good. So... I'm sure along the coast it was worse though. Two miles to I-10. Okay, let me try and force radar. Or not radar. Let me try and force the location to update. There we go. Now it says Tallahassee. But yeah, going forward, I guess I could talk a little bit about future chases, possibly. I don't think we're going to have another chase until this next potential tropical system goes through there's different models that show something landfalling somewhere in the Gulf in about a week and a half. So if that was the case, we'd probably end up back out here, more than likely. Before that point, I don't really know of. There could be some severe stuff that I just haven't looked at that we head out for. We will have to see if that plays out, but that's the next thing I've got my eyes on. We get on the freeway. We can go to windows up now. Windows up. Any of you watching right now, were any of you affected by Helene? Just winds. I gotcha. Amar, what's up? Waiting for it in Kentucky. Gotcha. Didn't do anything there in Pensacola. Well, that's good. You guys are on the western side of the storm, so that's the less impactful zone. But I mean, as for like, I guess I could give my own little recap of it. Like overall, I'd say the trip was a success. I mean, aside from me getting sick, but that had nothing to do with the storm or the chase. Like, chase went well. I got to meet up with the boys, which I always prefer to, at least for tropical stuff, I prefer to chase like with them, or like in a group, rather than solo. And my phone's on fire, good lord. But I got to meet up with them. We had a solid plan in place getting to that hotel where we were at. It ended up coming right to us. We got into the strongest portion of the eye wall. I think we were on like the inner eastern eye wall. So aside from the fact that we were just a little bit inland, we pretty much got into the strongest stuff. So that was pretty cool. I'd say logistically we played it pretty well, just because we knew. It's interesting to have all these lights lowered down. We knew we weren't going to be able to go anywhere immediately after, because I mean, on the highway, I think it's Highway 27 or whatever it is, going from Perry back up to Tallahassee, we must have passed like 200 trees that at some point had been over the road. That had been like people with chainsaws had come through, but that wouldn't have been happening yet last night. Oops. Did the hotel regain power? No. And I mean, there were so many trees down on power lines. I honestly don't think that area is going to have power for several days. I don't think it's just going to be a one-day effort. I think it's going to take multiple days to recover. I've been better, Susan, but I'm okay. How are you? For continuing to smash that like button as well. We're just going to see how many likes we can get on today's stream. I'm not going to set a specific goal, but however many we get to, I appreciate it. trucks. Sure, we'll probably see more of those convoys. Yeah, Todd, I've got someone I'm going to see real quick before I head to Jacksonville. I don't need to get there till this evening, so just an old friend of mine that I probably won't get to see again for a long time. So, but Jacksonville is the end goal for tonight. Well, I appreciate that, Ronnie. Yep, I am 100% safe, not injured by anything. I did get slammed by my door pretty hard, but that was just me being an idiot. So, tried to open my door as one of those really strong gusts came in, and it, like, as I was getting in, it just like slammed into me. No one you guys know, just a friend from college. They have a new one in 10 days named Kyle. Yeah. No, that's that next storm I was talking about we could potentially be back out for. I was also saying in terms of chasing, I'm not sure what would be going on in between then and now, or between now and then. Oh, we're up to 26 now. Unfortunately, that sounds like major hurricane statistics, but still, you never want to hear about it. Yeah, it's certainly interesting seeing how like calm, and it's really quite a nice day out right now. Definitely would not think that a major hurricane just came through this area. Now, granted, we're pretty far like west landfall was at this point. We're in the outer. This area was in the outer fringes of Helene. Plug you in, you You can hear the South Park jokes now. What was Florida Man doing in the forest down there? It's kind of sus. No, Susan, they did not, and I don't think they're going to for a few days. There was a lot of power lines down leaving Perry. What's up, Teresa? Hello, Lisa. More power trucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, maybe. Yep. 7. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of recovery efforts going on the next few days. I've seen floor care companies, I've seen roofing companies, I've seen plumbing, electrical. Everybody's headed out to that damage zone. Seems like, anyway. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, Kim, it's quite the drastic difference, isn't it? Looks devastated. I'm not surprised. They can't take a whole lot in terms of storm surge to begin with, I don't think. I know there were a couple chasers down there, but I'm just not experienced enough in chasing hurricanes yet to where I feel comfortable making that aggressive of a move. I'll get there, because this was Hurricane 4 this year. I don't know if we ever got up to like 20-foot storm surge anywhere, but I heard of at least 10 feet in spots. Which, I mean, that amount of storm surge is still devastating. I mean, think about 10 feet of water. You think about how tall I am. If you just, like, if you've seen me stand in front of the car, add another 3.5 feet to that. It's a lot of water. Sorry guys, T-Mobile coverage does not really exist very well in Florida here. It's hard for me to load the stream, hard for me to load chat. Only ones come through about half the time. I mean, as many of you know, I am a bit under the weather, and my energy is just totally zapped. And there goes more power trucks. It's good to see that there's a lot of response and a lot of help headed that direction. Not to say that all these companies are volunteering their time or anything, but I'm just glad that there are ample resources from surrounding areas that can help these areas out. Yeah, no, I can't do the freaking magnet charger. It just overheats my phone to no end. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Carol, I was able to actually have a full meal, and that did make me feel a little bit better, but I'm still definitely not feeling 100%, but better than when I woke up this morning, or during like the 10 times that I woke up last night. I just, like, my nose was just completely congested, could not breathe, like, out my nose at all. And I guess, like, when you're sleeping, like, sometimes, maybe it's just me, but, like, my body will try to divert to, like, breathing through my nose. So I'd, like, wake myself up because I thought I just couldn't breathe overall. And, you know, sharing a bed ain't as comfortable as if you have your own. So... vapor inhalers. Yeah, my mom had me use Vicks when I was a kid whenever I got sick. I guess I'm just not very good at taking care of myself when I do get sick. But it was also a lot more difficult dealing with that in a hotel that had no power and a surrounding area where nothing was open and nothing's going to be open for a couple days. So I will likely stop on my way to my hotel later this afternoon and get some cold medicine. Access to ample resources rather than just being limited to what I brought, which the only thing that I really even had that would maybe help my situation was water. Like, I don't think any of my max would have, I don't know if it would have made it worse necessarily, but that they weren't going to be overly helpful. So, but as usual, I overpacked big time. But, you know, rather be overprepared than underprepared, I guess. T-Mobile Edge, and why am I on it? I'm just so confused. Does T-Mobile not have towers in Florida? Like, are they just not even a provider down here? Very unfortunate. I can't see chat at all. Can't see chat, can't load the stream, can't do anything. Major interstate, no less. It's very weird. Send texts either. What the heck, man? Yeah, Dad, I'm sure some people are yelling at me that I'm going the wrong way. I know I'm not headed towards Jacksonville at the moment. I'm headed towards Niceville at the moment. Yes, I have one of my best friends from college who moved out here. And I am not sure when I'm going to get the opportunity to see them again, honestly, because 99.9% of the time Garrett and I are traveling together, and it's harder for me to just go have like some one-on-one visit time with my friends that I have all around out here when I have somebody else with me. So it's sort of a unique opportunity, and I didn't want to pass it up. Besides, I've never actually had the ability to take naps. I wish I did, but I can't get my body to do it. I mean, I have to be like absolutely exhausted. I mean, if I didn't sleep like a wink last night, then I probably would be able to go to sleep super early if I just wanted to go straight to Jacksonville. And I was debating doing that earlier, but having an actual meal helped. Me, Connor, Freddie, and Ben, we went to this place called Blaze Pizza. Pretty good pizza. I had a couple slices. Wasn't overly starving, but their pizzas weren't that big, so I guess I don't need to cap. I ate an entire pizza, but like they were pretty small pizzas, so I was able to eat it. If it was like a full like medium or large pizza, like I can eat like a freaking excuse my language, sorry. I can eat a like a large pizza. If I haven't eaten all day, I can sit there and eat an entire large pizza by myself. But I don't know if it had to do with the fact that my diet was basically nothing yesterday. I mean, I had half a bag of potato chips, one beef stick, and yesterday and this morning combined I had 2 Pop-Tarts, and that was it. So yeah, normally these are members only. I just decided to make it public for a couple different reasons, one of which being that I did promise everybody a stream. Although, I mean, yesterday on stream I did say that if we didn't do the damage survey, there we go, the damage survey stream, that it would just be a members only road trip. And I mean, maybe I'll toss up another members only stream for my drive back to Jacksonville. But I just wanted to go live for everybody for a little bit. Just if people wanted to join in, hang out, they have open access to do so. So. Also didn't even end up needing that extra can of gas back there, which doesn't smell anymore. It only smelled like initially, like the first 15 minutes or so. I just had the windows down for like a solid 15-20 minutes. That seemed to do the job. I haven't smelled it at all. I mean, I haven't passed out while driving, so I'm assuming that means there isn't an issue with it leaking fumes out. I've just received word that we're being raided. Dun, dun, dun. Have we chased Texas? Yes, we have. I would think so, Charm, but I was getting to the point where I was at the same state yesterday, and I could definitely smell it. But I mean, like, I drove around with it all day yesterday, and I've driven a couple hours with it today. Max Velocity and their viewers just joined. What's up? Max Velocity raid. We're about to get raided. I said not rated. Sorry. Welcome in, everyone. Great to see you all. Thanks for tuning in. Woo! Up to 8:14. Wow. Welcome in, everybody. We're just hanging out after the hurricane here. Come join the party. Now you can't get pizza out of your mind. Gotta go get some pizza. Yeah, everyone smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button if you are a fan of live storm chasing. You may have seen our feed on Max's channel yesterday. I don't know if he used our stuff or not, but if he did, then you probably saw us there. But it's great to have you all here with us. Thank you all for accepting that redirect. Big shout out to Max for helping us out once again. Shoot. Okay. Nice. Great guy. Great at what he does. Congratulations to Max, by the way, for hitting 400,000 subscribers yesterday. His stream took off, providing great coverage, keeping people aware of what's going on. Well deserved, man. Round of applause for you. Round of applause for Max's viewers for showing up, helping us out too. Give yourselves a round of applause. Round of applause in advance for our mods for dealing with the much larger crowd that I'm sure they were expecting. $2,600 watching, 400 likes. Let's see how fast we can get that like button to just shoot up to 1,000 real quick. Break a record. Yep, it's definitely pretty calm. It's crazy the drastic difference between, you know, getting slammed by winds so strong that I could barely stand to honestly quite a nice day out. I mean, it's mid-80s. It's not too humid. Like, it was less humid than I was expecting. There was still a nice breeze going on. I was like, man, this is like picnic weather. Yeah, we're going to be live for the next hour and 20 minutes or so. And then our members might get a secondary stream today as I drive from my next destination, which I'm headed to right now, to my hotel for the night, because I am flying home in the morning. Not based out of Florida, based out of Arizona. I'm in a rental car right now. We normally have a fully equipped chase vehicle, but right now I am in the rental runner. But those of you who might not be familiar with my face, hello. Excuse me. There we go. Here's my signature look. Those of you that aren't familiar with our channel, I'm DL Scales. I am part operator of StormRunner Media. We also have Storm Chaser Garrett Thompson, or excuse me, Meteorologist Garrett Thompson. We're both meteorology. We're not meteorology majors. We graduated. Wow. A little bit, my brain's a little bit fried. He is the main forecaster and navigator for the team. 99% of the time, we roll together. There's been a few times where I've had to step away and he'll chase solo, but this was actually my first solo chase. So pretty much any other time that I'm right here, you'll see him sitting next to me. So I know we've got quite a few potentially new people here who have not met him yet, but I encourage you to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next chase. That could be another tropical system in October. It could be a severe setup before that. That has yet to be determined. That's normally determined by Garrett. I just kind of I take care of the driving and the technological or the technology behind what we operate in the social media side of stuff. So yeah, not much weather in Arizona, just hot. Correct. We do have the monsoon season. This was our 3rd year covering the monsoon season down there. That's kind of where we got our feet wet, so to speak. Storm chasing. We started off covering a season of monsoon chasing, and then we went out and we covered a couple of severe events towards the end of 2022. One of them actually being in Arizona. It wasn't associated with monsoon season. We ended up getting a brief tornado down there in October of 2022, and then November 4th of 2022 was our first legit tornado chase. It was a moderate risk 15% hatch tornado threat in Northeast Texas. Hell of a first tornado chase in my opinion. We did get one tornado, which honestly is fairly good for the terrain that we were in and the storm speeds and everything. The fact that we were able to see one. But we've come a long way since then. We've streamed, I think we're getting close to 40 tornadoes now. Biker gang going past us here. Nice. Those are some nice bikes. I'm jealous. Set the charger for a little bit. But anyway, yeah, so that's a little bit about us. We've been chasing part-time for coming up on 2.5 years now. Full-time since May, when we graduated May 7th. We pretty much just hit the ground running. We graduated May 4th, hit the road May 7th, and we lived on the road till the end of July. Just hotel to hotel, to Freddie's house, to my relative's house, to wherever. Is this Josh? No, it's not. Never mind. Thought it was. But anyway, it's probably enough of my face for you guys. Actually, wait, no, I wasn't done. Wasn't quite done talking yet. You mentioned the monsoon stuff, though. Even though we covered it for the last 3 years, I think going forward we're probably not going to be doing that, aside from any like pretty significant either flash flood threat, or if there's some sort of like severe setup like slight risk. Every now and then you'll get an enhanced risk down in Arizona. That's not normally during the monsoon season. That's normally a little bit after, talking October, November time frame. Since we technically do have a place to stay there, or a couple different places to stay there, it being that we both went to college there. We could go back, but the reason that we always went back to cover the entire season, all those general thunderstorm risk days, is it was in our backyard. I mean, usually the furthest chase away would be 3.5, 4 hours to get to the target area, if that, if not closer. So it was a lot more realistic for us to go out and cover a lot more. But our plan by the end of the year is to move out to Oklahoma, Kansas, Oklahoma, that type of area. We're going to start looking at places more than likely here pretty soon. Give that a shot. It's a big step. I mean, it's like for real full-time now. So we're going to see if we can make that work. It's obviously a little bit more difficult with 2 of us rather than just the one, but we each kind of have divided up responsibilities, both in terms of just running the business and in actual real-time chasing operations. So we've kind of gotten used to that. So if we can continue that would be a good thing. So, and we're able to do that because of you guys, y'all in chat, you guys showing up, supporting us. Wouldn't be out here without you. So, but anyways, we can kind of turn this into a Q&A if you guys want. Like I said, I got like another hour, 15 minutes of being live here. So, if you'd like, feel free to put questions in the chat. I wasn't looking at the chat before, but I'll try and kind of glance down at it and catch your guys' questions if you have any. We're up to 500 likes now, 2.1 thousand watching. Can we get to 1,000 likes? is the question. Jack, thank you for the Venmo. Much appreciated. Jacksonville? No, I live north of Phoenix in Arizona right now. How's that cold? Still definitely there. Still not feeling great, but food helped a little bit. Was the peak storm surge as bad as they expected it to be? I saw reports in certain areas that it was over 10 feet. I didn't see anything else personally, so I don't know for sure. But we weren't actually there for the surge. We stayed a little bit inland. With the 20 bomb gifted memberships. Thank you very much. Welcome to everybody who got one of those. Appreciate you, Cactus. Any. Where are you headed to today? I am first headed to Niceville, Florida to visit with one of my best friends from college, and then I am headed to Jacksonville tonight. Redirected here from Max. You subscribed here as well. Well, thank you, Lori. We appreciate that. I said if live storm coverage, live storm chasing interests you at all, we encourage you to subscribe because we think it can benefit you. You can find our content entertaining, and it benefits us, and it's free. So for those interested in this type of content, it's a win-win for everybody, in my opinion. Why are you going to Jacksonville? I have a flight out of Jacksonville tomorrow, early afternoon. I'm headed back home to Arizona. 16-foot exit. Gotcha. Well, I didn't quite get to 20, but still, 16 feet of storm surge is catastrophic. So I hope that somebody in our chat at the start of the stream said that the death toll was up to 26, which that breaks my heart to hear. I know, like, when like when we're out there in the eye wall and we're yelling and having an adrenaline rush, like I know how that may look. Like it may seem that, you know, people like me are not considering that. I definitely am. It's just being a severe weather enthusiast. Kind of in the moment, you have tunnel vision. You're just focused on, you know, what's happening right in front of you, what's hitting you at 100 plus miles an hour. I'm talking about the wind, not debris. I didn't get hit by debris. It's just in that moment, you just kind of forget. You don't do it to be insensitive. I mean, of course, I feel terrible for the people who were actually, you know, impacted. On my way back, I do have a bunch of extra stuff that I didn't end up using. I think there's a lot of people, like a lot of companies and stuff, I believe, heading out of Tallahassee going south towards those areas that were hit, or maybe even further east, like out of like Live Oak or something, because if you just drop south out of there, that's where it made landfall. I'm going to try and see if I can figure out if there's somewhere where I can donate the food and water that I didn't use, and maybe see if I can contribute a little bit extra, because we did do that once before for, I forget which tornado it was. Yeah, I forget which tornado it was, but there was a tornado that went through town. I believe it was Coffeyville, maybe. I don't remember what day it was though. But we went there, we tried to aid in search and rescue a little bit, and then on our way out we were able to contribute a bunch of water and ice. So, and again, that's because of your guys' generosity that we're able to do that. But you know, it's very like we're very aware that this stuff is impacting people, and you know, there's only so much that we can do, and you know, we're just kind of there to cover it and then do what we can afterwards. I feel that I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage, because if I had my vehicle with all my equipment, I could have potentially been a little bit more helpful in like clearing trees, or at least pulling trees out of the way. But I'm in a rental. This was a very last minute decision. So I didn't even have all of the streaming equipment that I needed, let alone any type of recovery equipment at all. Couldn't fit it in my suitcase, didn't have time to try and fit it in my suitcase. Didn't have the time or the funds really to go and restock on all the stuff that we've accumulated in the 4Runner over the years. So, but all that to say, our thoughts are with those who were affected by Helene. At the end of the day, it was a major hurricane. People were killed, people were displaced from their homes, and you know, there's nothing good about that. Apologize. Like I said, I am sick. I am dealing with a cold, so in Sarasota, south of Tampa, we had gusts up to 65 yesterday. Flooding up to 4 feet in people's houses, lots of structure fires, thousands without power. Sad thing to witness. Yeah. Some of the infrastructure too, it just doesn't, I mean, now granted this was a pretty strong hurricane, but like it just doesn't seem like it was built to withstand storms like that, where you would think that it'd be a little bit more resistant to it. There were some places that were. I mean, our hotel was perfectly fine, aside from the fact that they lost power, but they just don't have a backup generator on site, and they put that note up on their door. They were like, you know, if we lose power, everybody's losing power. We don't have a backup. So, and you know, we did lose power on stream. We watched the power go out, but I mean, there were power flashes everywhere, and I'm realizing that a lot of that was from trees falling on power lines. The power lines themselves, as long as they didn't have trees on them, they seemed to have withstood it pretty well, like the power poles themselves. But the trees, some of the trees around there just could not handle that wind. There was a lot of trees, mainly pine trees, that were down. I mentioned that yesterday on stream. was like, you know, these are the trees that I'm mainly concerned about, because again, a lot of those trees with the leaves on them, especially it seemed like when we got the drier half of the eye wall, that backside, it was still very windy, but that we didn't have nearly as much precip as we did on that northern side, or the eastern side, I guess. Well, both, because we got hit by both. It allowed for more debris to kind of be moved around freely. Like there wasn't like as much water, at least in terms of like, you know, large branches and leaves and stuff like that. Like a lot of the leaves on some of those trees were just coming off, which lessened the surface area on those trees. So it seemed like more trees that had leaves were surviving it, but the ones with the pine needles that aren't necessarily seasonal, a lot of those came down between Perry and Tallahassee. There was trees down everywhere. I did hear that there was several chasers who were out, who were at least partially, if not largely, responsible for clearing a lot of those trees that fell. So huge props to them. I have a lot of respect for the guys that go out and do that. If I had my car and I had a chainsaw, I mean, after the last one, after Francine, a lot of people were on my case about getting one. So I probably should have one. I just need to teach myself how to use a chainsaw. I grew up in the city. I am 100% a city kid. I am not country at all. Never had my hands on a chainsaw before. So it's just something I got to learn how to do. But, you know, if I had one, I could potentially be even a little bit more helpful out here. It would make it a lot easier to pull some of these trees out of the way. If I could at least cut them at the point where they're starting to block the road. Isn't pine softer wood too? Yeah, I believe so. Is your P.O. box ready? I need to call that company and figure out what's going on with it. The address is on, like, if you go to the About tab on our channel, the address is down there in the channel description. But I haven't started putting it in the streams yet because I'm not sure that we can actually receive mail. If you want to try and send something to that address, you can. I'll check to see if we're receiving anything there. But, again, I'm not sure. Okay, my cruise control is about to screw me over. There we go. Sent you a TM on an Instagram business idea that came to mind last night. Okay. I'll probably be checking my Instagram DMs tonight when I get to my hotel. So I will check that out then. If any of you guys have social media, by the way, all of my social media links and Garrett's social media links are in the description. So be sure to follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, check out our Facebook page as well. At some point I want to try and get that going again. I just need to figure out why I can't stream on there anymore. Or at least just start posting on there a little bit. I've had such tunnel vision for YouTube, I haven't really focused on anything else. But be sure to follow us on all that stuff. We do post extra stuff every now and then on Instagram or Twitter. And it is another way to reach us if you need to. Same thing with our Facebook page. You can message our Facebook page and one of us will get back to you when we're able to. So if you have any of those social medias, be sure to go check them out. What states do you usually cover? Do you go everywhere, or do you stay in certain areas for chasing? We used to go pretty much anywhere. I had been everywhere except for pretty much New England, minus like Pennsylvania and New York, because I went through Pennsylvania to get to New York for that lake effect snow system. But as far as like the smaller states like Connecticut, Vermont, Delaware, Maine, even New Jersey, Massachusetts, all those up there, have not been to any of those before. Honestly, don't know if I'm going to. I mean, maybe for a nor'easter, but I don't have much interest in chasing severe setups up there. It just seems like way too crowded, not enough room to go chase. Similar problem that I have with Dixie, but instead of it being too many trees, it's too many people. So I definitely have my preferred areas of chasing, but aside from those states, I have been to every other state now. Not all for chasing purposes. Like, I've gone to Hawaii 2 or 3 times on vacation, but I've never gone there to cover anything. Although I have stood out in a couple thunderstorms in Hawaii, so I don't know if that counts. I just wasn't a YouTuber yet. Well, technically I was a YouTuber, but it was when I was much younger and I had a Minecraft YouTube channel. But we're not going to talk about that. Also do want to apologize. My personal phone is on T-Mobile, which has no coverage in the state of Florida, it seems like. They don't provide coverage out here at all. So I have had 1 bar of LTE most of this trip. Currently I have 1 bar of 5G. So a lot of the times I can't even load my own chat, which is very unfortunate for having such a large audience. This is the largest audience we've had. So I do get a chat. I am unable to see. Yeah, that's another thing. We normally run Starlink out here, but I don't have it right now. Cactus, you're everywhere and nowhere all at once. Cactus likes to lurk in chat, but Cactus is a G. W Cactus again for the 20 gifted members. I think I crossed over time zones. Yeah, I definitely did. Interesting. Still a bit gusty out. This car that we're in, for some reason, it gets pushed around by the wind a decent amount. It looks like it would be fairly aerodynamic. It's a 2023 Hyundai Tucson. I think, I still have yet to check. I might do that whenever I get parked where I'm going. But I think it might be the same exact rental car I ended up in last time. Like, not just the same type. Like, I think it is the exact same car. I cannot confirm that for sure. There's one way I think I could possibly confirm it because of some damage that was done to the underside the last time I had it. I don't know if they ever actually repaired that because, I mean, the car drives perfectly fine without the little covering on the underside. I don't know if they ever got around to replacing that. So if that's missing, then I know this is the same car. But I don't remember what the license plate was on my last one. Martha, welcome to EF1. Elaine, welcome to EF1 membership. Thank you guys both so much for joining. Hopefully you guys enjoy being members on the channel and the benefits that that brings. Speaking of, several benefits that the members get. Members only road trips. This is one of the only public road trips that we've done this year. Most of them we reserve for members only. This is just a little bit of a unique scenario because I did promise a stream today. In some form or fashion, so I just wanted to do my best to deliver on that. We do, I haven't been the best at doing them lately, just because it's either like too much of a last minute chase, or I'm not sure exactly where we're going. But normally the members do get a community post before each chase if it's a little bit more of a scheduled chase. I just did not, at least for this one, I just flat out did not have time to sit down for 20 minutes the morning of to make graphics and make a post and everything. Like, I just, at least I didn't think I had time. Turns out that I did have time. I mean, we were expecting that thing to landfall. I was expecting it to landfall around 9 p.m. It landfalled 2 hours later than I expected it to. So I had time. Because we didn't even actually go live for our official Hurricane Eyewall intercept stream until about 7:30. We did a kind of a precursor stream, but that didn't really count for much because nothing was really happening yet. That's what was interesting about this one, is like, because it was moving so fast, it kind of went from 0 to 100 pretty quick. Like, when we got to our hotel, it wasn't even raining really. Winds were calm, maybe 10 to 15 miles an hour. Then you fast forward 4 or 5 hours and you got 110, 120 mile an hour gusts coming at you. But I do feel like this hurricane was moving faster than most. in my very limited experience actually chasing hurricanes. This is the first season that I was actually able to be out for hurricanes, because previously hurricane season also coincided with school, and it was very hard to try and get out. Well, once we finally got to the point where we were able to get our professors to work with us, because we finally got them to understand that this is a business, more than just a hobby. It was an actual income. They had a little bit more respect for it. They were a little bit more understanding, because they were basically like, okay, they treated it the same way as if like somebody had to miss class because, you know, they had a shift at work that they just couldn't get out of. Like, they were understanding of that. But we didn't get to that point with some of our upper level meteorology class professors until severe season of 2024. So we were able to be out for a few events that year. Went out for a couple winter events. We got a winter storm in Iowa. Right after that, we got a winter storm in Buffalo. I was not a fan of that trip. That was mainly just because I got sick, actually, while we were on the trip. Let's see, what did we do in February? February, we spent a lot of time in California covering flooding events. March, we didn't do a whole lot, but we were able to get out for the Alta Vista, I believe it was an EF3 tornado. One of the most insane radar signatures I've ever seen for a supercell. I mean, the rotation, you can just see the sink drain appearance on the reflectivity on the southwest side of that supercell. It was incredible. And we were right there when that tornado crossed the road. I mean, it crossed maybe a mile in front of us. Well, less than that, actually. Yeah, it was less than that. We got to go out for that. We went out for spring break. Although spring break was kind of a bust, because we chased Oklahoma. Then we pulled an all-nighter to get all the way up to Kentucky/Indiana. We got there, and then Garrett and I both got sick at the same time, to the point where like we just got a hotel and we were just stuck in bed all day. We could not chase. We could hardly move. That was pretty bad. Then we ended up covering a couple more storms towards the tail end of that break. We got to go back out in April for the eclipse. So that was when we were really able to start getting out there and doing more stuff outside of Arizona during the school year. Was our last semester, really. Before that, I don't know if it just actually was really difficult, or it just seemed really difficult at the time. I just received a report of the reported wind gusts. Am I studying meteorology? I studied meteorology for 4 years. I am officially a degreed meteorologist. Although I don't really like to throw that term around for myself. I'd say Garrett embodies the meteorologist vibe a lot more than I do. My strength is not really with the science. My strengths definitely come with driving in adverse weather conditions. I feel like I've gotten fairly good at that. Still have more experience to gain, but I mean, we've driven now probably close to 200,000 miles in chasing miles alone over the last 3 years. So, or not even 3 years, 2.5 years. So, I feel like I bring that to the table. I feel like I am pretty decent at picking up or learning how to advance technology of our stream setups out here, keep things running. I enjoy working on cars, so I've tried to learn how to do a decent amount of vehicle maintenance and repairs myself. I try to do it myself whenever I can. Recently I haven't really had to, because we are sponsored by Prescott Tire Pros. Side note, if anybody here is watching from the general Prescott, Arizona area, or even surrounding areas, if you need anything done to your car, oil changes, brakes, tires, wheels, suspension stuff, they do it all over there. They do great work. They have kept our main chase vehicle, a StormRunner, on the road for the last little bit. So big shout out to them. Their website is in the description. But anyways, they've done a lot of our work on the car recently. Before we had that sponsorship going with them, I was trying to do a lot of stuff myself. So I feel like that's what I bring to the table. I can look at stuff and I know what I'm looking at. I mean, I went through the same 4 years of school that he did, but he picked up a lot more of it. I am just not very scientifically minded. So I don't like calling myself a meteorologist, just because like I don't really know how to like talk about a lot of technical terminology when it comes to chasing. I can look at something and I know what I'm looking at, but I don't really know how to talk about it, because I've never really had to. Honestly, I've gotten used to chasing with Garrett, and him primarily being the one to take care of that end of things. I do appreciate everybody having tuned in from Max's stream. Thank you all for continuing to hang out. Probably going to be live for the next 40 minutes or so, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Pretty short stream, but just wanted to go live for a little bit and just kind of talk and hang out. I guess the title isn't technically accurate. I'm not headed home quite yet. I'm headed in the opposite direction of the airport, but I will be headed there later. And like I said, members, you guys might see another brief stream later. Maybe not, though. We'll have to see. Yeah, a lot of the math, I mean, I honestly don't know how I made it through some of my math classes. Shag and math way were my friends, that's for sure. We appreciate that, Susan. Yeah, Susan's a day one. I think you've been here since before we even had 1,000 subscribers. A little over 2 years ago. Linda and Brooke, thank you guys for the Cash App donations. Much appreciated. Teresa, thank you for the PayPal. Thank you all so much for your continued support of the channel. Helping us cover expenses out here. Haven't already, be sure to smash that like button. If we could maybe get to 1,000 likes by the end of the stream, that'd be pretty cool. Elaine, thank you for the PayPal. Much appreciated for that one as well. Thank you for your generosity. Helping out with food and gas. Thank you very much. So that total you guys are seeing up there in the top right corner, that reflects everything over the last 2 days. Those were unfortunately the only 2 days that we were able to stream. If I could have, I would have gotten out here a day prior. I mean, technically I got here Wednesday night, but I didn't even land until like almost 12:30. I was texting Max when he was live on Wednesday night, and he was just like, yeah, you should go live real quick so I can redirect to you. And I was like, dude, I don't know what I would stream. Because I forgot my phone mount. I didn't even have a way to mount the phone in the window. I had to buy one. I got a bunch of stuff I got to return to Walmart and Best Buy tomorrow morning. What part of Jacksonville are you from? Oh yeah, no, I'm not from Jacksonville. That's just where my flight's out of. Sorry for the confusion there. Not from Florida, but I do have family here. I have family in Jacksonville, I think. I have family in Orlando. I think I have family in Tampa. Don't think I have any family in Miami. And I've got a couple friends here too. One of them being Max Velocity. One thing that pisses me off about this car is the lane assist. I think is just damaged from the factory or something, because like it'll just randomly like pull me. It'll like try and like pull me over to the next lane. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys just saw that. That wasn't me. The car just pulled me over there, and I had to pull it back. I don't understand what it's doing. Going through a poor connection zone, it looks like. What's up, Garrett? That would be our master forecaster there in chat, in the flesh. Hey Susan, welcome back. Where are you headed? I'm currently headed to Niceville, then I'm going to be headed to Jacksonville. Stopping in Niceville to see a friend of mine. I originally wasn't going to because I told her I was sick, but then she said she didn't care. So, and like I said, as I explained earlier, it's quite rare that we're not out here chasing together. And it's a little bit more difficult to make random stops to see people that I know out here when there's both of us. So I'm just taking the opportunity because I'm not sure when I'm going to see her again. So at this point, the only person out of my friend group left that I haven't seen since graduation is my buddy Zach. Who I hope I'll see soon because I definitely miss him quite a bit. Sometimes growing up sucks. leave your friends. But then you go out and you make new friends. Or you make more friends. Shout out Freddie, Connor, Max, Ben, and everybody else we've chased with. Thank you, Tuna. Appreciate it. Hopefully I will continue to feel better and have safe travels. Fortunately, the safe travels part is kind of out of my hands, but hopefully my pilots know what they're doing. Tell me why Disturbia by Rihanna is stuck in my head right now. Yes, Candy. You would be correct. I just realized I never changed the thumbnail from half of my face. That's funny. I took that as a joke and I fully intended to change it and I just never did. Whoops. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate it. We majored in, I almost said Arizona. Wow. We majored in meteorology, is what I was trying to say. Nobody's gonna let me over. Nice. Cool. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, Shannon. Honestly, when I was really getting blasted by those winds, I kind of forgot about it for a second. Casually doing 8 over. I'm not used to talking. What do you mean? I feel like I stream fairly often and I talk fairly often. Doctorate in Arizonaology. Nah. There will be no doctorates for me. Reed and all the other meteorology PhDs. Different animals, man. Good hair day. Thank you, I guess. Do myself any favors with these shirts that I wear. This drive honestly went by pretty quick. I got half an hour left. Well, half an hour left with you guys, plus another 5-10 minutes of driving, but just for my friend's privacy, I'm not going to take you all the way to her apartment. That would be a little bit sketch. How did we meet up and decide to start a business? Well, we had actually had a couple classes together, but being that we were both very antisocial, we didn't actually speak to each other for the first year. I just knew he existed, he knew I existed. We didn't know that both of us wanted to storm chase. So the weather club on campus had stopped being active when COVID happened, and then it got restarted by someone, and we actually started talking back and forth for the first time. I think we were just talking about like if there would be like a tornado outbreak or something somewhere, like we chatted about that for a minute, and then we were like, wait a minute, we both like storm chasing, don't we? And then pretty quick, I just kind of proposed the idea that we start a business doing it, because I had wanted to make an attempt at doing this for a living. And I had initially been disappointed because the meteorology program at our school, Embry-Riddle, was so small that it seemed like nobody there was interested in chasing. So at that point, I had just been chasing solo locally around Arizona. I had covered a couple winter storms in Oregon as well, but I was basically just chasing in my own backyard. I hadn't gone on any like actual chase trips yet. And I was like, well, you know, start a YouTube channel, let's start a business, let's see if we can make a run at this. And 2.5 years later, after that conversation, here we are. Our first chase together was June 26th of 22. Still probably one of the better monsoon days I think I've seen overall. Like 2022 was very generous to us in terms of monsoon season. We just weren't as good at capturing stuff back then, so a lot of it kind of went to waste. But then when we got better at the live streaming, when we upgraded our equipment, then the monsoon season kind of tanked. Like 2023, it wasn't that impressive. 2024 wasn't very impressive either. welcome to EF1. I forgot that this is what the panhandle of Florida is like. Just trees everywhere. I'll show you guys why I don't like chasing in Dixie Alley, because it's basically the same thing. So, I mean, it's clear on both sides of the freeway because this is where they put the roads. Like, you can see the sky a little bit. You can see some, but not a ton. Now, just imagine that you're on, like, a skinny little two-lane highway, kind of going to the middle of nowhere, because some of those roads, albeit most of them are paved out here, you don't have as many dirt roads as you do in the plains. But at least on those dirt roads, like in the plains, you can see like for miles most of the time. Out here, you can't see 500 feet in either direction. And it seems like over the last, at least from what I can tell, the last 10, 15 years, the decent amount of the stronger tornadoes that happen on a yearly basis happen in Dixie Alley. You're talking Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida Panhandle, I guess, eastern Louisiana, southern Tennessee, if you want to count that, Arkansas. Oof. I don't know if that's technically Dixie, but worst chase day of my life, chasing in western Arkansas. I thought about quitting right then and there. Of course, we went on to have two back-to-back, some of our best streams on the channel to date in Texas. But getting to that point made me want to quit. Yuba didn't get much monsoons. Yeah, it didn't. Somebody left a comment on one of our community posts when we were still actively covering monsoon season, being like, why don't you, and I think they were serious. I think they were like, it's always southeast Arizona. Like, why don't you bring the storms to southwest Arizona, like Ajo type area? And like, I've heard people say like, oh, like, you know, please send the rain this way. But this person, I'm pretty sure they were dead serious. And I was like, I don't know how you want me to bring it. Like, I just go where the weather is, man. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. So, yeah. I don't know. Trees, 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 and more trees. What was that dude's name from the Lorax movie? O'Hare? Where's him when you need him? Get him out here, cut all these trees down. Kidding, by the way. Don't support major deforestation just for my chasing ability. But it'd be nicer if the trees just weren't here in the first place. Because then I wouldn't mind it. This is a lot of the times the sound you guys are hearing when, like, I know, like, Crystal likes to say, like, oh, I hear the crunchy water bottle sounds. It's to make more room in my little trash compartment down here, so I can, because, I mean, I go through, like, on, like, a 8-hour chase, I'll go through, like, 5 of these. Basically a water buffalo. Yeah, I mean, Sarah, I got a little bit, but combined with the fact that I couldn't breathe, we had no power, so like the temperature wasn't bad. We had a good plan in place. When we left the room to go down there, as we were waiting for the eyewall to approach, we cranked the AC all the way down to the coldest it could go to prepare that room for the fact that it eventually was going to get warm and very muggy. So the temperature was actually quite nice. It was the fact that the dew point matched the temperature. It was basically probably like at least 90% humidity in there. So it was very humid, couldn't breathe, had to share a bed with Connor, so that didn't help. Yeah, I got maybe 3 hours. I should get more tonight though. I have my own personal beef with Ron DeSantis. Does Connor snore? A little bit. Yeah, Feather, I thought I said happy birthday on stream. If not, happy belated birthday. Everyone drop happy birthday messages in chat for Feather. Feather's been a long-time viewer on the channel. We appreciate their support. Happy birthday. Stuck in my head. Who played that song? I haven't listened to music really in like the last day and a half, so I don't know why it's stuck in my head. Because like last night, I can't really fall asleep to silence, so like I'll normally fall asleep with my headphones in, and because T-Mobile service got knocked out in Perry, that was the one cell provider that went down. Of course, it was. It makes sense that T-Mobile's freaking cell towers are the weakest ones because their network just sucks. I had to just go with whatever I had downloaded on my phone. And I think I went on my Amazon Prime and I had 4 random episodes of Storm Chasers downloaded on my phone. So that's what I went to sleep to. I apparently didn't have enough of it by being out here and basically chasing all day yesterday, even though realistically I was just trying to get in position for landfall. Like I was still technically active storm chasing. Then I went ahead and watched an entire episode before I fell asleep. Yeah, Ruth, I probably sounded just a little bit rougher because, like last night, just because it was late. So, like, you know, with colds, the way it usually goes is, like, they're worse at night. Like, the mornings and the nights are the worst. also pretty cold because like I kept going outside and then I'd come back inside and I'd just be absolutely drenched. Those jacket and pants, they're effective for a little bit, but then eventually they stop doing whatever they're doing because that water just absorbs right through. And my shirt was completely soaked, my pants were completely soaked. I had to put wet clothes in my suitcase. I wrapped them up in a towel, but the towel was also wet, so probably didn't do much. I'm gonna have to do just toss some stuff in the dryer. I'm not gonna waste more of my money by attempting to do like a load of laundry or whatever when I get to my hotel tonight, but probably toss those in the dryer so I don't have my entire suitcase smelling musty longer than it needs to. Wow. Why is there like evenly spaced traffic? I hate when this happens. I could have made it. That car was going like 2 miles an hour. Son of a gun, dude. Oh. Hurry up, 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 hurry up. Alright. I will say the rental runner is a lot faster than the StormRunner. It's a very slow chase vehicle, very underpowered. Thank you guys for continuing to smash that like button and that subscribe button. We did climb another 100 subs, which is awesome. 150 subs actually, so if you're a new subscriber off this stream, welcome. Puts us at a total of about 500 new subscribers for this trip, so if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. We really appreciate having you here. Train here, even though I've lost a decent amount of my redirectees. I'm a big believer in paying it forward, or trying to pay it forward. I feel like that's important to try to do. Jerry, thank you for being a member for a month. Thank you for joining me for the chase. Certainly appreciate it. Okay, well, I'm doing 15 over. late for a flight? Nah. My flight's not till tomorrow. I'm good. I am chilling. Oh, you're talking about the person behind me. Linda, I'm thinking about it, but if I do, that one is definitely going to be members only. But I might. And I got extra fuel in the back. I'm good. I need to use that up at some point though before we leave. All glad I didn't quit. If I ever announced that I was quitting, but yep, I'm still here. But glad you guys enjoyed the chase. Thank you guys for tuning into this stream. Thank you again to Max Velocity for the redirect. He's done that for us several times. Really does help us out here. So big shout out to him. He's a great friend, great person, great at what he does. Again, huge congratulations to him on hitting 400,000 subscribers. That's one step closer to 1 million, which he's going to get to at some point. I'm calling it now. Thank you, mods. Here, you know what? I can. I do have. There we go. Thank you, mods, for your continued dedication to the channel, always helping us out. We really do appreciate that. You guys volunteering your time and efforts to help support our channel means the world. We wouldn't be able to do this, run this big of a stream, this big of a channel without you folks. So thank you all very much. Thank you, members, both new and existing. If you became a new member either yesterday or today, thank you. We hope that you enjoy being a member on the channel. Existing members, thank you for continuing to support our efforts. You guys are a large portion of what keeps us out here. So thank you all so much for supporting us every month. And if you were gifted a membership, congratulations. If you gifted memberships, thank you. Again, shout out to Cactus on this stream and anybody else who gifted on the last stream. I forget who. And I mean, there were large gaps in between me even being able to look at chat. So there may have been some that I missed, but if you gifted memberships, thank you for helping us expand our member base. We really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who donated, whether that was directly, super chat, super sticker, gifted memberships. It all comes together to really help us cover expenses out here, help us keep growing the channel. So thank you all so incredibly much for that. And welcome to all new subscribers. Like I said, we had about 550 new subs this trip, so that's a decent amount of people that we've brought on board, along with everybody else we already have. So thank you all for that. I'm hoping that I actually have service down this road. No, this is probably going to be very awkward. Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate your guys' continued support. Hopefully you enjoyed the chase. Hopefully you enjoyed the group dynamic, at least for the second half of the stream, where we linked up with Connor, Freddie, and Ben. We were unfortunately missing Garrett, but running in a group like that, it makes these hurricane intercepts a lot more fun, and you feel a lot safer too. So shout out to those guys for for having my back, letting me tag along with them when I didn't have service on my phone. They were definitely very helpful in me being able to actually get information on the major hurricane that was coming right at us. So that was super helpful. But all that being said, I do have you guys redirected over to Corey Gherkin's stream. He's out doing cleanup / damage survey. So feel free to click on that when it pops up. Great guy, great chaser. So I will catch you guys on the next one. And I lost you guys. Sorry about that. Looks like I'm losing you as we speak. Anyways, I'm getting ready to end it. Feel free to click on the redirect when it pops up. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Members, just make sure you have your notifications on just in case I do end up doing another members only stream later on this evening. Adios, y'all.